The movie begins with Siri as she recounts her tragic life story, explaining how bad luck has always chased her, one misfortune after another. Her story starts when she was just 5 years old. At that time, she felt the world was finally beginning to smile at her when she confessed her feelings to her cousin. To her joy, it turned out to be mutual. But of course, since they were still children, everything was postponed for later. When she turned 11, she confessed again, this time by writing him a letter. Amazingly, he sent her one at the exact same moment. Showing that he still held on to those yet, her happiness didn't last long. Out of nowhere, she discovered that her cousin and his family were moving to Seoul. And just like that, her first love ended before it even had a chance to begin. To make matters worse, her curly hair genes started showing. For her, it became a lifelong curse. Especially since her twin sister was blessed with long, silky, beautiful hair. Her twin wasn't only pretty, but also always. She was always one of the top students in school. Compared to her sister, Sari felt overshadowed, invisible, and endlessly frustrated. When she reached high school, she gathered the courage to confess her feelings again, this time to the boy next door, hoping to relive the victories of her childhood. But instead, she was crushed when the handsome boy showed up at their doorstep, only to confess to her sister. From that day, Sari swore never to confess her love to anyone ever again. Broken-hearted, she went to school. She went to the sea to swim and forget her sorrows. But fate had other plans. The moment she saw Kim emerge from the water, her heart betrayed her oath. She caught herself staring at him, whispering inside, "What happened to your promise, Siri?" The next day, she tried straightening her hair to impress Kim, but her sister barged into her room, pulled out her headphones, and scolded her for pretending to be emotional, listening to music in the morning. Sari lost all hope, left her comb stuck in her messy hair, and she was left with nothing. Sari had shouted to the local vendor in town, "Please get me an MP3 player. I just want to listen to my songs in peace." And for the Gen Z kids listening, the MP3 player was our source of music back in the day. It was the coolest gadget of the 90s. But her mother quickly reminded her that they had no money. If she really wanted one, she'd have to exchange something she already owned. Angry and disappointed, Sari stormed off to her father, complaining, "If you had straight hair like normal people, I wouldn't have ended up looking like you." Sari was a bit angry, but she wasn't shocked. Kissed dead, her father sighed and said, "So now you're mocking God's gift." As she walked out, her friends Lena, Gina, and Sue were waiting to go to school with her. She apologized for the delay, saying, "Sorry, I was fighting with my sister again. Like every day." They teased her, asking, "Are you really sisters? We just heard she got first place in school again." Siri snapped, "Don't exaggerate. You're hurting me here." At school, when Kim appeared from afar, the girls gathered around him, mesmerized by his cuteness. But Sari kept hitting him, mesmerized by his looks. He was like a young movie star. The real shock came when he humbly waved at Sari. Her friends stared at her in disbelief, feeling as though their social rank had finally been elevated. Sari told them everything, that she had met Kim at the beach, exchanged words with him, and couldn't stop thinking about it. When she checked the classroom list later, her heart nearly stopped. Kim's name was there. Worse yet, the class was reserved for the top 100 students in the school, and it was well known that anyone who confessed their love in that class had a 100% chance of success. "He'll be gone before I can even confess," she muttered to herself. While she sat in class, weighed down with thoughts, the teacher entered and announced, "I've got news. Last year's trip was cancelled due to the typhoon, but this year the school decided to organize it again for you. I don't know why they saved these things for the last batch, but lucky you." Later, she and her friends went to watch while Kim played basketball. Sari thought to herself, "I must confess before another girl steals him." At the cafeteria, she begged the lady at the counter, "Give me a chilled soda bottle, write my name on it, and keep it in the fridge. The moment Kim comes, give it to him." But the lady chuckled, "Sweetheart, 5 girls before you have done the exact same trick." Disheartened, Sari left, only to bump into you, her curly-haired partner in misery. "You teased her, you straightened your hair today." Planning another confession? Embarrassed, Sari rushed off to the beach, hoping to see Kim again. There, she swam happily, but a handsome stranger watched her. Overcome by excitement, he jumped into the water, forgetting that he couldn't swim. Sari quickly rushed to save him, slapped him across the face to wake him, and scolded, "If you don't know how to swim, stay out of the sea." The next day, she overheard in the teacher's office that a new transfer student, a year older than them, had just joined the school. To her shock, it was the same boy she rescued yesterday. He introduced himself as Yoon. His leg was in a cast, and Sari teased him. "So this injury is from yesterday, huh, Mr. Yoon?" But since he was older, she called him Mr., half respectful, half mocking. When all he did was nod silently, she left him alone, afraid she might be bothering him. At the end of the day, she saw him struggling, carrying an umbrella, a crutch, and his bag all at once. Sari ran to help him and said, "You could just ask for help. You don't need to act all charismatic on your own." The teacher noticed and praised her. You're smart, sorry, but where's your name badge? Did you really run off this morning without wearing it? Honestly, with that hair of yours, you're already out of control. The following day in the cafeteria, Sari couldn't stop worrying about Yoon. She asked herself, why do I treat him like he's my cousin? And with that thought, she carried a plate of food over and set it down in front of him. At that moment, one of Sari's friends was acting far too formal with Yoon. Sari frowned and asked her, why are you exaggerating like that? He's only a year older than us, nothing more. Her friend shot back, well, you've been calling him Mr. Yoon for a whole week now, and none of us said a word. Yoon, caught awkwardly between them, tried to break the tension. He told Sari gently, you don't have to be so formal with me. You can just call me whatever you like. Sari laughed, fair enough, but don't forget, I was the one who saved your life the other day. You should be treated like a human being. You should treat me with respect instead. After that, he bought her an ice cream. And the two of them went to sit in the garden together. Siri asked him curiously, are you really planning to skip the university entrance exams? Yoon's face immediately darkened. He was upset that such private information had somehow leaked. Meanwhile, Sue, one of Sari's friends, was causing a stir. She had started using a name nearly identical to Sari's, sparking rumors. Sari joked nervously. Do you think maybe I've got a secret admirer? The one who stole my name? Yoon almost blurted out the truth, that he was the admirer. But he froze the moment he heard the teasing comments from her friends. No, I can't handle this drama, he thought, backing out at the last second. Just as Sari was about to lose her temper, Kim suddenly rushed over, apologizing breathlessly. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Her anger melted in an instant. Her eyes sparkled like butterflies taking flight, and her voice softened. No, it's fine, don't worry about it. After Kim left, Sari asked her friends, do you think he really likes me? I mean, why else would he start a conversation with me? Her friends immediately began hyping her up. Of course, girl. He's clearly into you. The way he looks at you. No doubt about it. But Yoon shattered her daydreams with a flat comment. Honestly, I don't think he meant it that way. His tone was so dismissive that Sari stormed off in annoyance. Later in class, her friends came running in with shocking news. Sari's curly-haired partner had somehow transformed her wild hair into perfectly sleek locks. Sari rushed to see for herself and was astonished. Pulling her aside, she asked, how did you do this? Her partner explained that a new salon had opened in town, specializing in high-end straightening treatments. Sari hurried to the salon, desperate to confirm. She asked the owner, is this treatment really effective? I've tried so many before, but they never lasted even a day on my hair. The woman smiled knowingly. Your hair is tough, sweetheart. But the products we use here, they're powerful. Back home, Sari emptied out all her savings, counting every last coin. But to her disappointment, she didn't even have half the amount needed. The next day, she stood outside the salon, staring at it miserably, her chin resting on her hand. Suddenly, she came face to face with Yoon. To her shock, she discovered that his mother owned the place. Thinking quickly, Sari came up with a plan. She waited until he was returning from school, then jumped out in front of him. What a strange coincidence. What are you doing here? Yoon replied calmly. This salon belongs to my mother. No way. Then let's go greet her right now. She marched inside, all confidence, introducing herself. Hi, I'm Siri, a friend of Yoon's. Did you know I saved his life just a few days ago? Yoon squirmed with embarrassment and quickly explained the situation to his mother. His mother, understanding instantly, offered Sari a deal. Stay close to him, help him until his cast comes off, and in return, I'll do your hair for free. From then on, Sari's days turned into 5-star service. Every morning, she picked Yoon up from his house, walked him to school, and at the end of the day, escorted him back home. Nothing came for free, after all. She even handed out flyers for the salon to help bring in more customers. Yoon, however, told her gently, you don't need to do all this, you know? But just then, she spotted Kim nearby with his friends. Panicking, Sari ducked behind Yoon, whispering, I don't want him to see me like this. My hair's a total disaster. I look ridiculous. Yoon turned to her and said quietly, you look pretty, actually. Right at that moment, rain began to pour. The two of them ran into her father's storage shed for shelter. This is my secret place, Sari confessed. Whenever life gets too noisy, I come here to escape. Inside, Yoon found shelves stacked with comic books. You know, he admitted, I've never read comics before. Sari's heart sank with sympathy. Poor you, your childhood must have been so harsh. Don't worry, I'll share this secret world with you, but don't tell anyone. This is a top secret. The next day, Sari gathered her friends during break. Sorry to bother you guys, but you need to share this special moment with me. She handed them colorful paper, showing them how to fold it into stars to fill a jar. Then she turned and handed the jar to Kim. He glanced at it blankly and muttered, honestly, I'm not into silly things like this. Sari, hurt. turned it into a full-blown drama. "Oh, thank you for nothing. A simple thanks would have been enough. Now my friends are going to think I forced this on you." Feeling cornered, Kim reluctantly sat down and began folding stars, just to save face. To Sari's delight, he ended up spending the whole class making them for her. The following day, Sari approached one of the school's top students and asked, "Can I borrow your spot in the study hall for just one day?" He flatly refused. Then, looking her straight in the eye, he said coldly, "To be honest, I think you need a reality check. Do you really think someone like Kim would ever consider you? You're not even in his league." The words cut her down deeply. Sari walked home with her head hanging low. When she saw Yoon waiting, she broke down crying, shoved the jar of stars into his hands, and walked away. Later that night, she went to the study hall anyway. To her surprise, Yoon was already there. He calmly told her, "You've already handed in your paper. What's done is done." But when he saw tears brimming in her eyes, he smiled gently. "Actually, I have a surprise for you." He pulled out the jar of stars, this time filled to the top. Sari gasped, "You did all this by yourself?" He handed her the largest star inside. Her favorite shape. Touched, she said, "Since you've proven how strong you are, I'll give you a gift too." Not long after, she went to pick him up for school and discovered that his cast had finally been removed. His mother told her warmly, "You've done more than enough, Sari. You've gone above and beyond. So now it's time, I'll do your hair straightening treatment for free." Sari's eyes widened. "Really? You mean it?" She hugged her in joy, though admitted, "Maybe not today. Let's wait until I'm ready." That day at school, she learned that Yoon had ranked first in his year. She was over the moon for him, but her happiness didn't last, because she also discovered that Kim no longer had a place in the study hall. Back home, while helping her mother in the family restaurant, Sari overheard a neighbor whispering gossip. Yoon's mother had run away from her husband because he abused her terribly, even beating Yoon. That's why Yoon had been forced to repeat a year. The next day, Sari felt her spirits lift again. If the study hall plan failed, then I'll confess to Kim during the school trip. Nothing could be more romantic than that. But later, during gym class, she noticed her curly-haired partner trying to cling to Kim, asking if they could train together. Sari kept glaring at them from afar, so distracted that she didn't notice the ball flying toward her until it smacked her straight in the face. She went home with her own clothes and her own clothes. She was so excited that she had her eyes swollen, but soon after, Kim sent a voice message to check on her. That night, Yoon had his usual nightmare. He was drowning in the sea, but this time, it changed. Sari appeared out of nowhere, grabbed his hand, and pulled him up. He woke certain of one thing. He had real feelings for her. The day before the trip, Sari went to the salon. "I'm ready to do my hair," she told the owner, Yoon's mother, who was busy with a client. She called to Yoon. "Honey, could you wash Sari's hair for me until I'm done?" Sari was mortified, yet he did it. The whole thing, however, felt wrong to him. He thought she didn't need anything done at all. "Your hair is beautiful like this," he muttered, when his mother started the treatment. Sari's hair clumped together. She asked Yoon, "What cream are you putting on? You know you can't use that before straightening." His mother sighed. "Sweetheart, I have to wash you again." Yoon felt even more embarrassed and slipped out. Trip day arrived. Sari walked in slow motion, her newly straightened hair billowing around her. They spent the day filming and goofing around until the long-awaited moment. The group found a quiet spot, hung decorations, and set a romantic mood. Someone went to fetch Kim and even pointed him to the spot. Yoon couldn't stand the wedding-like atmosphere. "Spare me," he thought. "I wasn't even around for the 90s and this still feels dated." He walked away, leaving them to it. When Kim stood before her, Sari's mind went blank. "I thought I really liked you. So much that I straightened my hair for you," she confessed. "But when this moment came, I realized I was thinking of someone else entirely. With him, I don't have to change anything about myself." Kim answered coolly, "So you brought me here to humiliate me. Looks like you love him." On the bus ride back, Sari noticed Yoon was avoiding her completely. "You didn't even ask how it went," she thought bitterly. She went to the storage shed to study. And Yoon came in. She tried to put on a cool front. "I can't sit with you. Exams are coming." She waited a couple of seconds, then a couple more, for pride's sake. "For the record," she said at last, "I didn't confess to Kim. I realized I need to focus on my studies more." A smile broke across Yeon's face. Conversation flowed easily after that. Later, Sari saw Yeon at school joking with her lab partner and felt her face tighten with jealousy. That evening, he waited outside her house, holding a box of sweets nearly half her height. "Thanks," she said awkwardly. "Since when are we friends?" He just laughed. "Focus on tomorrow's exam." The next morning, he stood outside the school in a teddy bear costume, a gift in hand to cheer her on. After the exam, her friends planned a celebratory lunch for their last day of school. Sari declined. She had to help her mom at the restaurant. As she left, Yeon suddenly remembered an errand and followed. Plans changed, and the two slipped away to the beach. "Why did you jump into the sea the first time you saw me?" she asked. Honestly, he said. I was a mess. I saw you swimming, happy, and I wanted to feel that same feeling. He pulled her name strap from his pocket, confessed his feelings, and they agreed on a date for Sunday. When he got home, his mother told him she had to travel to Seoul for a few days to get supplies. Sunday came. As usual, Sari had her friends set up a romantic seaside scene. But the moment was ruined by a voice message. Yeon's mother was in the hospital. I'm sorry, he said. I have to go now. He arrived to find his mother badly bruised, clearly beaten. His father, ironically a doctor at the same hospital, stood by, claiming she fell on the stairs. Did you think moving to another city would keep me from finding you? Days passed. Worried sick. Sari bought a train ticket and went to see for herself. At the hospital, she overheard Yeon telling his mother that his aunt had booked them tickets to flee to America. If we go back to him, he'll never leave us alone, he said, and then broke down. I don't want to go. I just want to go back to So. Hearing that Sari couldn't bear it. If leaving was what would keep him safe, she would make it easier. She went to a public phone and recorded a voice message. I don't want to continue with you anymore. I realized what I felt was just friendship. Back at the shed, she found the notebook she'd given him, and a gift. Inside, the notebook was filled with a lot of things. She said, I don't want to. The notebook was filled with pictures of her. He had made it to confess his love. 2 years later, Sari was at a marine sports college. Her hair had finally gone back to its natural curls. After lectures, she met her friends at a cafe. Sue announced she'd set up a blind date. He's amazing. No competition. Sari lacked any spark, but agreed after the relentless nudging. At the date, she drifted off, realizing, no. I can't be with anyone but Yeon. She headed to the beach and texted the would-be groom. Sorry, I can't make it. I'm feeling a bit sick. He replied with a strange message. That's odd, because I can see you right in front of me. Then he called. She answered, annoyed. And who exactly are you to talk to me like we're close? What do you think I look like to you? A laugh. Look behind you. It was Yeon. She ran to him. I'm sorry, I only did that to make you leave, to keep you safe. I know everything, he said. When she'd sent the breakup message, another one had arrived just before it. Someone saw, calling him a monster. The two messages had come together. He'd figured it out. He pulled a jar from his bag, packed with paper stars. I folded a star every time I thought of you. What do you say? We finally make this official. Their friends swarmed them, cheering. At last, Sari broke her curse and found love. Thank you for reaching this part of the video. If you like it, please subscribe and hit notifications.